The Two Rivers Warriors managed to squeeze out an overtime home win against the Tartan Titans, ending 3-2 in the action on Thursday. Two Rivers' Eddie Orn scored the game-winning goal. The hosting Warriors started off strong and took the lead early in the game, with Preston Gamer scoring in the first period, assisted by Andrew Ekman. The Warriors made it 2-0 in the first period when Nate Rohrer struck, assisted by Will Oren and Nico Ferraro. Tate Bertelsen narrowed the gap to 2-1 in the period, assisted by Maddox Maristuan. Tate Bertelsen also tied it up 2-2 3 minutes later, assisted by Maddox Maristuan and Ben Milan. The game went to overtime. In overtime, it took 2:40 before Eddie Orn scored the game winner for the home team. The Warriors have now won 4 games in a row. Next up, the Warriors face Hastings at 7 p.m. CST at West St. Paul Ice Arena, while the Titans face Hill Murray at home at 7 p.m. CST at Tartan Arena. Both games will be played on Saturday.
Of the game, and it's Ava Siedenberg who records the kill. Again, she is one of the players to keep an eye on. Jaden Larson and Abby Bennis were some of the others that Alyssa Wise highlighted in my pregame conversation. And Two Rivers having some miscommunication on that set, so Tartan off to the quick start. But as you know, in an untimed sport best of 5, it ain't over till someone wins 3 sets, so it's early. Overpass on the serve receive. Tartan with a couple of tap downs. Now they'll get to run a set here. And squeezing the ball up front is number 15, Abby Bennis, one of the players highlighted by Alyssa Wise, and the Titans are off to a 3-0 start in set 1. High serve, deep serve. Two Rivers able to catch up to it. Dee Larson. I should say Dee Gibson charged with the error. Tartan was going to get a free ball, but instead they'll take a 4-0 lead, and the Titans are rolling to begin this Metro East Conference game. And that is a service error on Tessa Wilkie. Errors will happen in an untimed sport with rally scoring a point on every play. The key is how you respond to them. So if you make a mistake, you just got to shrug it off, focus on the next play. And the beauty of volleyball is that if you make a mistake, you can make up for it on the very next play. And we've seen that occur several times. Good serve by Two Rivers. Tartan forced to play recovery mode. Here's Siedenberg, and Tartan recovers nicely. Siedenberg picks up her second kill. Another deep serve from the Titans. The serve receive goes back to the Tartan side. Siedenberg too hard. Her first inning error. And as you may know, if you've followed our Tartan coverage over the years on SCC, the ceiling here a bit lower than most schools, so that will come into play most likely. As you know, if a ball caroms off the ceiling, it's still in play. Siedenberg hit the line judge, who is outside the field of play. But the line judge takes it like a champ. Didn't budge for a moment. It is a point for Two Rivers, though, and it's 5-3. As Dee Larson, or Gibson, I'm getting those two mixed up. That goes off the antenna. And a point for Tartan. '15 is Dee Gibson. I don't know why Larson keeps coming into my head. 6-3 the score, that much I can tell you. And there's an example of what we're talking about. You saw Two Rivers there scrambling. That put Tessa Bolson in a vulnerable position, having to send it over, and instead it bounces off the ceiling. And then a mistimed attack on the part of Gabby Kirchner. Two Rivers looking a little disorganized here, as that gives Tartan the lead. We just have one scoreboard active. And Tartan will pick up, I should say, Two Rivers will pick up another point on the service error. 8-4 is the score. Tessa Bolson serving for the Warriors. Siedenberg going off speed. The teardrop falls for a Tartan point. Last season, Tartan finished 9-20, 3-5 in conference play. Two Rivers went 19-5-1. If you're wondering about ties, those can come in weekend tournaments. And Two Rivers responds with an off-speed hit of their own. It's Ellie Rife, who I believe records the first kill for the Warriors. And Two Rivers will make a substitution. As you know, substitutions have to do with position on the rotation, not necessarily an indication of skill or acumen. Tartan coming from the left side. And LaRae Dotson, the junior, gets the deflection. Nobody there to recover for the Titans. And Two Rivers inching their way forward, 9-6 the score. This is Izzy Kirchner, a basketball-volleyball crossover. Kirchner serves that one out of bounds. Abby Bennis going in for Shea Resch on the Tartan side. Ava Siedenberg. That's quite the windup. Dodson goes cross-court. Tartan able to play it. Did that touch? It went off of a Two Rivers player. And so that will be a point for number 10, Harper Henry, the freshman, who played outside hitter the last couple of years. Moved her way up to varsity, started on the 9B and 9A teams, and Siedenberg serves that one out of bounds. The third service error for the Titans in the first set. That has been their Achilles heel in the early going. They still hold an 11-7 lead, though, as we get a look at Ellie Rife. Henry with the hard hit, but Bolson was there for the up. Tartan will get another chance from the back row. It's Siedenberg. Got it. Siedenberg, the junior, 5'10" outside hitter. Tartan, not the tallest team in the field, but they have chemistry. And perhaps a little bit of confusion. Siedenberg and Satine Lee appeared to hesitate for a moment on who was going to get the up, and that results in a point for Dee Dee Gibson, the senior, who is going to Texas Southern University. Hasn't decided if she'll continue playing volleyball or not, but she does plan to major in business. Heads up play by the Warriors. Gabby Kirchner taps down the overpass. And it's 12-9. Two Rivers, after a slow start, inching and creeping their way back in this. Now Tartan from the middle. Abby Bennis with an emphatic answer. This is Rife. Siedenberg with the two-handed up. And a one-handed touch shot by Kendall Buffalo. She found a spot in no one's land. Tartan scoring the point there. Two Rivers says we can play that game, but Lee is able to get the dig that time. And the deflection goes off the net and onto the Two Rivers side. Timeout, Two Rivers. Tartan leads 14-9 in set number 1. And it seems a little early for Sweet Caroline. That is one of the staples of high school girls volleyball, as I've come to learn over the last several years. Quick growth, chemistry. Alyssa Wise, when I talked to her, had a lot of excitement and optimism in her tone. She said how rapidly this team has forged a link is something she hasn't seen before. Where that will take them remains to be seen. Although Tartan does stand to be in competition several Metro East games, and there's a look at Katie Naughton, the head coach for Two Rivers. And to finish up that story on Dee Dee Gibson, plans to major in business. She wants to be an ultrasound technician. Number 15, the senior. And Two Rivers, whatever their record is, they take up a practice that has done wonders for the mental health. We'll talk about that at our next stoppage. One timeout remaining for the Warriors in this set. As you know, 2 timeouts per set. And a well-executed ATO play results in a kill for Gabby Kirchner. Kirchner, one of the basketball-volleyball crossovers. Izzy and Sophia Amundsen are the others at Two Rivers. And they followed it up with an ace. That's number 4, Grace Hansen. Grace, the sophomore outside hitter. (15-11) the score. Make it 16-11 as Tartan gets the deflection, resulting in a kill for Abby Bennis. And we're doing our best to keep track of the score here. The scoreboard that the scoreboard camera is facing is turned off, so we're having to take notes mentally. 16-12 following the service error. The 4th for the Titans, so just letting you know in case we're off by a point or two, we cannot see the score from our traditional vantage point. As we have an extended rally playing out here. Siedenberg looking to end it. And winning the jump ball was Gabby Kirchner. Siedenberg was in position on the front row. Kirchner made the jump burst. As long as the ball doesn't cross the net, you can make a play for it, provided you haven't used up your limit of 3 touches. And Gabby Kirchner has 3 kills, 16-13. Gibson serving. Two Rivers with a chance to play it. Reif hits that into the net. This is Kendall Buffalo, the 5'9" junior. Hesitated slightly on the serve. Gibson had to dive for it. And Two Rivers will score off the block. Ellie Reif, I believe, made the play. Two Rivers hanging in there. Can they get on a run? 17-14 is the score. Here's Siedenberg, who makes a cut and then goes cross court. Unofficially, her 5th kill of the first set. Siedenberg with some power and maneuverability. And the first game of Metro East Conference play. Here's Rife getting a friendly bounce, a let kill. I don't know if the bounce off the net helped her or not, but nobody was there on the near left side for Tartan. Rife found a perfect spot to attack in any event, and we're at a 3-point margin. Tartan able to save it, but Two Rivers gets a free ball to work with. They go to the middle, and Emily Rosen, the junior, gets on the board. It's a 2-point margin now. Siedenberg winds up, fires. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Siedenberg in the service position. Rosen with the tap. The up from Jane Larson. Now Siedenberg from the back row has scored a couple of times from there, and she'll score another one here as the up went off of the ceiling. Like we said, Tartan has a lower ceiling than most gyms that I go to for volleyball. That can come into play as you try to play off of it. And it doesn't help that on the Two Rivers side, you may not be able to see it at all times, as we have some frenetic action playing out, ending on the off-speed kill from Abby Bennis. There is a divider that runs perpendicular right over the Two Rivers side of the court. Double contact, our first ball handling error on the Warriors. They're hanging on to their timeout for now. Tartan building up a lead here, 22-16 by our count. Siedenberg, another deep serve, and there is the ceiling coming into play again. And that'll be enough for Katie Naughton to call the timeout. Tartan and their construction gear clad fans 2 points away from capturing the first set. Fitting, as we were talking about in the open, a new wing of the school is being built, scheduled to be completed November 2023.